5 functions of management. We would like to introduce to you the concept of management with a short history lesson. Many people might think that management is a contemporary or late modern concept when it has been conceptualized since early history. For example, slavery and trading practices of the ancient civilization, such as Sumeria and Egypt, have been recorded to have had management-like practices. Despite the early history of the management, many pre-industrial business did not apply a systematic managerial practice. However, innovations such as the spread of the Hindu numerals and the double entry book keeping helped establish a managerial system for the next centuries leading today, providing the tools for assessment, planning, and control. One of the earliest mentions of management is from military theories through their military texts. Works such as Sun Tzu's Art of War have provided readers with some lessons for civilian managers. Some Asian philosophers such as Shen Huai, Chanakya, and Plato provided monarchs with the text on how to administer their realms and manage their courts. Medieval examples of philosophers include Almorazi and Machiavelli. Just as some European nations have established colonies overseas, the ideas regarding trade, commerce, and related practices have expanded. These give way for some classical philosophers such as Adam Smith through his book The Wealth of Nations. To provide a theoretical background for management, such as division of labor, management theory helped emphasize human relations and individual workers during the early modern period. When the Industrial Revolution kicked in, management theory evolved to accommodate the plethora of innovations and ideas that sprung up during this period. With the new means of production, organizations gained scale and grew bigger. Business owners and theorists started to organize and depend on others, which they call agents. But over time, we call them managers. It is during this period that management slowly evolved to become a widely used term. In the 19th century to the early 20th century, knowledge about management soon spread throughout the world. Universities gained institutions for higher education for management. This prompted another evolution in the history of management, the rise of expertise and the handling of complex organizations. Enter Henri Fayol, a French theorist who first defined the so-called functions of management. With management theory being scientific, new theories defined management that used measurement, procedures, and routines as the basis for operations. Development of theories such as theory of constraints, management by objectives, and re-engineering helped define the functions of management, even further to provide upstart managers on how to organize the complex structure of any type of business. This thought progressed well into contemporary times and has since defined business management of having several branches, such as financial management, human resource management, marketing management, strategic management, production management, operations management, service management, and IT management. But for now, we will discuss about the basics of the functions of management. 5 functions of management. Henri Fayol was a French engineer and the father of modern management theory, for he was the first to define the functions of management, and according to him, management is a set of principles relating to the functions of planning, organizing, directing, and controlling, and the application of this principle in harnessing physical, financial, human, and informational resources efficiently and effectively to achieve organizational goals. There are 5 primary functions of management, and these are planning, leadership, organizing, controlling, and staffing. Planning. According to Peter Drucker, planning is the future-oriented and determines an organization directions. It is a rational and systematic way of making decisions today that will affect the future of the company. It involves predicting of the future as well as attempting to control the events. An effective planning program incorporates the effect of both external and internal factors. The external factors are shortages of resources, both capital and material, general economic trend as far as interest rates and inflation are concerned. dynamic technological advancement, increased governmental regulation regarding community interest, unstable international political environments, and etc. While the internal factors that affect planning are limited growth opportunities due to saturation, requiring diversification, changing patterns of the workforce, more complex organizational structures, and decentralization. Leading. This function involves articulating a vision, energizing employees, inspiring and motivating people using vision, influence, persuasion, and effective communication skills. Motivation is very important since highly motivated people show excellent performance with less direction from superiors. It also involves supervision so that the employees perform their activities in the most efficient manner possible to achieve the desired goals. Supervising subordinates would lead to continuous progress reports as well as assure the superiors that directions are being properly carried out. Organizing. Organizing requires a formal structure of authority and the direction and flow of such authority through which work subdivisions are defined, arranged, and coordinated, so that each part relates to the other part in a united and coherent manner to attain the prescribed objectives. It follows, therefore, that the function of organizing is concerned with identifying the tasks that must be performed and grouping them whenever necessary, assigning these tasks to the personnel which defining their authority and responsibility, delegating this authority to these employees, establishing a relationship between authority and responsibility, coordinating these activities. Controlling. Controlling consists of those activities that are undertaken to ensure that the events do not deviate from the pre-arranged plans. The controlling functions involves establishment of standard performance, measurement of actual performance, measuring actual performance with a predetermined standard and finding out the deviations, taking corrective actions. Staffing. Staffing is the function of hiring and retaining a suitable workforce for the enterprise both in managerial as well as non-managerial level. It involves the process of recruiting, training, developing, compensating, and evaluating employees and maintaining this workforce with proper incentives and motivations. Since the human element is the most vital factor in the process of management, it is important to recruit the right personnel. This function is highly essential since people differ in their intelligence, knowledge, skills, experience, physical condition, age, and attitudes, and this complicates the function. Hence, management must understand in addition to the technical and operational competence, the sociological and psychological structure of the workforce. The 5 functions put forward by Henry Fayol may therefore not completely represent the total complexity faced by managers, and the normative approach may be too rigid to illustrate which functions managers need to perform in modern contemporary companies and organizations. However, the 5 functions presented by Henry Fayol give a structured overview of several tasks needed to be performed by all managers, which gives managers an initial overview of which main functions they should be focusing on in their daily life.